The year is 2025. The world watches with bated breath as tensions between global superpowers reach a fever pitch. Old grudges fester, fueled by economic rivalries and geopolitical maneuvering. At the heart of this powder keg is the Indian subcontinent, a region long synonymous with cultural richness, but now poised to become the epicenter of a global conflict. Imagine, if you will, a world on the brink, where the very foundations of global stability are about to crumble. This is not a world we want, but it's one we might be hurtling towards. The seeds of this potential conflict have been sown over decades of mistrust, strategic miscalculations, and a relentless pursuit of power. The players in this high-stakes game are no strangers to conflict. A resurgent Russia, a militarily assertive China, a United States grappling with its global role, and India, caught in a geopolitical tug-of-war. The question is not if, but when this powder keg will ignite. The road to war is often paved with good intentions, and in this case, it's paved with sanctions. The United States, in a bid to curb Russia's resurgence and China's growing influence, has imposed a series of economic sanctions. These sanctions, while intended to cripple their targets, have had the unintended consequence of pushing Russia and China closer together, forging an alliance born out of necessity rather than ideology. Meanwhile, India, a country with long-standing ties to Russia and a burgeoning economy reliant on global trade, finds itself caught in the crossfire. The sanctions have forced India to walk a tightrope, trying to maintain its strategic autonomy while navigating the demands of its allies and the realities of a globalized economy. The pressure is mounting, and the room for maneuver is shrinking. Adding fuel to the fire is the emergence of a new axis of unrest. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, drawn together by their shared distrust of the West and a desire to challenge the existing world order, have begun to flex their muscles on the global stage. This alliance, while still in its infancy, has the potential to reshape the geopolitical landscape and pose a significant challenge to the established balance of power. China, with its economic might and growing military prowess, sees an opportunity to assert its dominance in the Asia-Pacific region. Russia, eager to reclaim its former glory and fueled by a potent mix of nationalism and resentment, seeks to reassert its influence in its near abroad. Iran and North Korea, both eager to break free from international isolation and advance their own agendas, see an opportunity in this alliance to further their ambitions. India, a country with its own ambitions of becoming a global power, is now precariously positioned. On one hand, it relies on Russia for military hardware and sees an economic partner in China. On the other hand, it shares democratic values with the United States and seeks to counterbalance China's growing influence in the region. This delicate balancing act is becoming increasingly untenable as the world edges closer to the brink. The potential outcomes of this brewing conflict are as varied as they are terrifying. A full-scale war between these nuclear-armed powers is a nightmare scenario with unimaginable consequences. But even a limited conflict could have devastating global repercussions, disrupting trade, triggering a global economic meltdown, and plunging the world into a new era of uncertainty and fear. The stakes have never been higher, and the choices made in the coming years will determine the fate of not just these nations but the entire world.